A new study shows that 39% of all New Orleans children live in poverty. On tonight's 504, we're talking about health. So find out how poverty can have a negative effect on a child's development. Plus, some key signs to figure out exactly what kind of illness you have and the best foods and medicines to have on deck when you're getting sick. The 504 starts right now. Chicken noodle soup is the go-to for most people when they're under the weather, but there are certain foods you can eat to make you feel better, or some that could actually make your symptoms worse. So Julie Fortenberry is here from Touro with the best and worst foods to eat when you are sick, and thanks for being back, Julie.
Glad to be here.
This is a common one, and I first have to ask, everybody eats chicken noodle soup when they're sick?
They do, and I think it's more for the soul than anything.
Oh, interesting. All right, so you are going to take it from the soul to actual benefits
Let's
tonight.
talk about it.
So let's dive straight into it. The first symptom we're going to talk about is you have a headache.
Headache. Most of the time when people have a headache, they're just dehydrated.
Oh.
So by simply doing some water or even coconut water that has more of the electrolytes will help you feel better. And then also a little bit of caffeine helps release the blood pressure in your head, so it does make your headaches go away.
Great, so just grab a little tea. Let's talk about the nose for if you have a headache.
Obviously MSG, which is an additive in certain processed foods, and then red wines have the tannins. So you got to be careful, those are headache producing items.
Now, is it only red wine?
No, it's any alcohol, but red wine has those tannins specifically that cause headaches.
Interesting. Okay, let's move on to cold and flu. That's what we've been talking about tonight. If you have a cold, some good foods to eat while you have that.
Okay, I do like bone broth when you are sick because it's warm and it does help you feel better. It's got a lot of nutrients. I also love cayenne pepper, local honey for a cough, and then if you do have to do a bout of antibiotics, you want to come back with that with good probiotics to get that bacteria back in there.
And why does it have to be local honey?
Local honey because the way that the bees pollen, it helps with our allergies.
All right, perfect. So there's your diet and what to drink if you have a cold. Let's talk about the bad things if you have a cold.
So if you are full of phlegm and mucus, the last thing you want to do is drink dairy because it tends to produce mucus, and you'll know it tends to make that cough kind of rough.
Interesting. All right, so kind of stay away from all dairy, even let's say yogurt.
I would until the phlegm is gone.
All right, really interesting there. And then nausea, another one for many different reasons people struggle with.
Right, nausea common with pregnancy or certain medications, but most of the time the over-the-counter normal ginger ale does not have enough ginger in it to actually give you the benefits. And ginger does help with nausea, so I recommend making your own ginger ale, which you can see the website.
Yeah, we have it right there on the screen.
And that way you get a large dose of ginger, followed up with some unsweetened carbonated water. You don't have the sugar, but tons of ginger.
Perfect. All right, I'll definitely have to try that recipe.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about our nose if you are nauseous.
Okay. Anything greasy is going to make you feel terrible, even though that's what you want when you feel nauseous sometimes. The aftermath of it is even worse, so just be cautious with those items. And then sugar, what you don't think about with sugar, especially pregnant women, because they eat the sugar and then they drop off and their blood sugars go low, and that's when you feel terrible. So avoid the greasy foods and avoid sugar.
Who would have known to stay away from the potato chips?
What a shame.
That's why I've been digging all day. All right, let's move on to constipation. The good things to eat if you are constipated.
When you think about constipation, most people think of fiber and they say eat more fruits and vegetables. You definitely want to do that to prevent constipation, but once you're constipated, you want to move on to more fat items. I like coconut oil, avocado, quality fats, and again, drinking warm water with a little lemon in it would help the bowels move quickly.
That probably doesn't taste too good?
No, but it's cleansing, and it's a good detoxifier as well.
If you say so, Julie. Just drink it fast.
Just
all
get
right,
it down.
and then the nose if you are constipated.
Red meat is hard to digest, and so is dairy. So by limiting those when you are constipated, you'll probably find that your digestion eases up a bit.
All right, interesting. And then the last one on our list, we've got heartburn. Let's do the goods and the bads.
So apple cider vinegar, just a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar followed by a glass of water instantly helps heartburn. And then you want to avoid any spicy foods, sausage, hot sauce, or even gassy producing foods such as fried foods.
Interesting. And again, this is to avoid once you're already suffering from heartburn, not necessarily to prevent it.
Well, those foods do tend to cause heartburn.
Really?
So even when you have it, the last thing you want is add more fuel to that fire.
Okay, so stay away from the fried food.
You got it.
You always don't have any surprises in here. I can't eat the chips and I can't eat the fried chicken.
You've been eating the chips.
I have been eating the chips either way. All right, good stuff here. And in general, if you just have a question about what you should be eating when you're sick, what should you do?
Talk to your doctor, of course. Do things that feel good for you, but talk to your doctor and make sure that you're doing what your body needs.
All right, Julie, a really great list here for us. Thank you so much for being back. For more tips on healthy eating, you can visit Touro.com.